What's going on with y'all, man? It's boy Sharp React. Sharp from the 219. Back on another one, man. Jxmyhighroller dropped another banger. I haven't even watched, but I know it's a banger. The title is He's Already the Best Player in the World. Victor Wembanyama is the thumbnail. So I'm not going. It's tough, y'all. It's really tough. If y'all listen, for my subscribers, my viewers, appreciate all the support, y'all. If y'all feel like Wemby is the best player in the world now, I won't debate with you. I ain't gonna be mad at it, okay? Me personally, Jokic still got Shea. Yes, Shea didn't play well in that series, but it's a toss-up. It's really close. It's really close. But let's watch the video. Y'all know do I even gotta say it about Jimmy? He doesn't miss. He comes with the charts, the stats, the facts. Peak NBA content, fire NBA content. He doesn't miss. So, Sharp React, game who up staying happy, healthy, hydrated, motivated, positive, keeping God in your life, striving for greatness, no days off, man. Appreciate our support, like and sub. Let's get to it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait. This? Shea? No. We're not doing this, bro. We're not doing this, bro. Two different eras. Yes, statistically, whatever. Shea's better than Steph when it comes to the stats, but as a player, come on now. Are we talking about 2016 Steph? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I just had to talk about it.
LeBron James all the way.
Wemby already top 10 all time? No. These takes just
LeBron James all the way up to number 2 on your all-time list. I have him at 9. My team is perfectly run and well respected. My franchise player.
Shout out Skip Bayless.
French alien with high emotional intelligence.
Let's get to it, man.
The NBA
no more pauses. Come on.
Here, which means we've got some hot takes to look at today. Playoff edition. The good ones, the bad ones, and the downright atrocious. Today's video is sponsored by
I'm with Prize Picks. Shout out Prize Picks. If you ever see this, I need that sponsor. All right.
NBA playoff basketball, we are now down to just two teams. And while Knicks and Spurs fans get to enjoy the exhilarating experience of watching their team fight for an NBA title, the rest of us have been relegated to watch from the sidelines as we spew out hot takes about teams we couldn't beat. And today, we're going to take a look at some of these takes. Starting with this one that comes from a fan who asks, is Wemby the quickest someone has ever climbed to arguably number 1 in the league? Wemby's in year 3. Neither LeBron or MJ ascended to number 1 so quickly. And this is interesting because there's
not
two parts to this take.
This is not a bad take. This is not a LeBron in year 3. This is tough.
Part is that Wemby is arguably the best player in the world, and the second is that no one else has been the best player in the world by the end of their 3rd season. Both of those statements a bit subjective. I think it's definitely fair to say that Victor Wembanyama is arguably the best player in the world right now. If it's not him, then it's Jokic or Shea, and regardless of who you pick, there's no wrong answer.
Ooh, I forgot about Luka. I forgot about Luka too. Shout out Luka. Well, Giannis too, but yeah.
Arguably. So has any other player in NBA history climbed to be arguably the best player in the league by year 3? And the answer is yeah. Wilt Chamberlain won a league MVP as a rookie. By the end of Kareem's 3rd season, he led the league in scoring twice, had 2 MVPs, a finals MVP.
Jimmy. I said I wasn't going to pause this video. It's looking like I'm about to pause this video a lot, y'all. I'm so sorry. Jimmy, Wilt played how long ago?
and was definitively the best player in the NBA. Larry Bird was the runner-up in MVP voting in his second and third seasons in the league and was arguably the best player in the league. And of course, there's Michael Jordan, who, despite not having the hardware as tangible proof, was generally regarded as one of, if not the best player in the world by the end of his third season in '87. Now, looking into more recent NBA history, there's Shaquille O'Neal, who was arguably the best player in the league by '95, neck and neck with David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon. Although Shaq held the crown by 2000, in Tim Duncan's third season, he was in conversations as the best player in the league after leading the Spurs to a championship in just his second season. Another prodigy with an underrated early career is Kevin Durant, who was regarded as virtually the only player who could go toe-to-toe with the prime LeBron by his third season in the league in 2010. He finished second in MVP voting, and although he wasn't the best player in the world, he was next in line by his third season. And then there's Derrick Rose, who wasn't regarded as the best player in the world by the end of year 3, but he did get an award, a small consolation prize.
Shout out
for his
D-Rose.
efforts. And of course, there's year 3 LeBron, who ascended in the 2000s with a crowd of all-time greats. By the end of his third season, there wasn't a definitive best player in the world. Between Dirk, Kobe, Nash, Duncan, the conversation was pretty open for interpretation. But there's no denying he was certainly in it, finishing second in MVP voting in his third season in the league. The moral of this story being that throughout modern NBA history, even amongst the greatest players of all time, there probably hasn't been a single player that was the consensus #1 player in the world by the end of year 3. Wemby falls in the same category as LeBron and Shaq and Jordan and Bird, making a very strong case as arguably the best player in the league. I wouldn't say he's definitively the best player in the world, but I'd say being in the same sentence as those guys is a good consolation. Now, this next take comes from a fan who says you could replace Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 30 different players and the Thunder still win the
30
title.
different players? So I'm assuming... Wait, what does he mean, though?
And if this isn't evidence that SGA has the worst PR of any superstar of his era, I don't know what is. 30 players? You know what the Thunder's record is?
Wait, like 30 current NBA players, 30 Hall of Famers, like 30 all-time? Like, what is he saying?
Including the playoffs with Shai.
So he's talking about current players?
13.
Are you serious?
You know their record without him? 8-6. 84% win percentage with Shai, 57% win percentage without him. The Thunder's record over the last 3 seasons with Shai, 204 and 56.
Damn.
78% win percentage. Their record without Shai, 15-12. A mediocre 56% win percentage without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over the last 3 seasons. For perspective, from 2016 through 2018, when the Warriors had the league in a chokehold, Golden State's record with Steph Curry was 215 and 44.
Damn.
Their record without him, what?
Damn. Wow.
30 and 19. A gap that is identical to the Thunder with and without Shai. Because it turns out, not only do great successful players have great impact, but they usually have great teams built around their unique skill set and talent. Time and time again, we penalize players for being a part of a good team. Fans minimize Steph because of how good the Warriors were. They downplayed LeBron in Miami because of how good the Heat were. And you can't bring up Jordan without someone mentioning how great the team around him was.
Facts.
All of the true all-time
Spitting facts.
greats had great teams around them.
Facts.
If social media existed in the 90s, all you would ever hear about is how stacked the Bulls are and the unfair advantage MJ has. Steph had the most lethal team in the history of basketball behind him. Bird and Magic played with rotations filled exclusively with Hall of Famers.
Damn.
This is just the way it goes. And the irony of all of it is that in many cases, the perceived caliber of the team as a whole can often be the result of the guy leading the charge. Great players make their teammates look better. You'll often hear the hypothetical of swapping player X with player Y and which team would perform better with their new star. For example, swap Jokic with SGA and the Thunder still win a championship, but the Nuggets would be in the play-in, or something like that. But that's not how basketball works. Good teams are built with intention. They are built with specificity. Shai is a great player. So is Luka Doncic. But Shea cannot do what Luka does, and Luka can't do what Shea does. Same goes for Ant or Brunson. Great players, completely different skill set.
I want to read these, y'all. Move my that right?
Same goes for Ant or Brunson. Great players, completely different skill sets. Great rosters are like a recipe. You need the right amount of the right ingredients to make it work. Change one ingredient and you risk screwing up the entire dish. In fact, we've already seen what happens when talent is viewed as some perfectly transferable property. In the super team era, where organizations had this exact mentality, teams were slapped together with no intention, no design, no cohesion, just stacking up as much talent as possible for the sake of it. And it almost never worked out. Regardless of what you think of Shea's game, he is a very unique and very crucial ingredient to a recipe that has been perfected over the last half decade. And there are not 30 players who could fill his shoes and lead OKC to a title. This take is absurd. Now, this next take comes from a fan who says there has never been a more difficult time to win an NBA championship than right now. And I completely agree. After the Warriors ran the table on the NBA last decade, the entire meta of professional basketball shifted. Teams have gotten smarter, they've gotten deeper, and although talent will always prevail, the path to winning a ring in today's NBA requires far more than just talent to get it done. This is now the 8th season in a row that a different team will be crowned champions, the longest stretch of unique championship teams in NBA history. In fact, there have been 14 unique teams in the finals over the last 8 years.
Damn.
That is half the NBA. We are now creeping up on an entire era of absolute parity in the NBA. And this is in complete opposition of what we saw in previous eras. Whether it was the Celtics and Lakers winning 8 of the 10 championships in the 80s, the Bulls going 6 for 10 in the 90s, the Spurs and Lakers combining for 7 rings in the 2000s, or the Warriors winning 4 in 8 seasons. Dynasties and perpetual winning have been a staple in the NBA for decades. But due to multiple factors, such as advanced analytics giving teams the insight to optimize their rosters and game plans, teams prioritizing depth more than ever before, the rise of rotation level players and their impact on a night-to-night basis, and the league itself enacting new rules to actively fight against teams building dynasty-worthy rosters. Not only is it more challenging to win a championship now than ever before, it's more equitable. No longer do you have to have the best player on the court to win a series. No longer can you pair up a couple of mega talents and run through a conference. The 10th man off the bench can be just as pivotal in today's game as your second option. The natural evolution of the game has slowly leveled the playing field for teams competing for a title, and this shrunken gap between top-end teams now leaves the margin for error small and was able to will his way to 8 straight finals appearances off of sheer ability and determination. This does not happen in today's NBA. A great bench is no longer a bonus, it is a necessity. A great coach is no longer an edge, it's a requirement. Right when you think one team has separated themselves from the pack as a potential dynasty candidate, the league adjusts faster than it ever did before to counter their strengths. The basketball scale has and will always tilt in the favor of talent. One thing that remains true is that winning a championship means being in possession of one of, if not the best player in the world. But it's everything else. Depth, fit, cohesion, chemistry, schemes, rotations that has leveled the playing field and can now tilt the scale just as much. This is a great take. And our last take comes from a fan who says the regular season has become all but irrelevant and the playoffs are the only thing that actually matters, both in terms of discourse and legacy. And I could not agree more with this take. In the past, the playoffs were just a ramped up version of the regular season. Tougher defense, tendencies exaggerated, more intense matchups. The consequences of the playoffs were held to a similar regard. What a player did in the postseason mattered the most, but what they did in the regular season still mattered quite a bit. But now more than ever, the postseason has become completely disconnected from the regular season. The playoffs don't just feel more intense. At times, it actually feels like we're watching a completely completely different sport. And this is what happens when the regular season is comprised of some teams resting players, other teams using the regular season as one long testing ground in preparation for the playoffs, and the rest of the teams literally trying to lose as many games as possible. It has become evident that many organizations do not take the regular season seriously whatsoever. And in return, many fans are now choosing not to take it seriously either. You won the league's most prestigious award, the MVP. Well, why should I care? It doesn't even look like you do. You average 25 a night? Yeah, well, a quarter of the league isn't even trying to win games. If all you guys care about is the playoffs, then all we're going to care about is the playoffs. And now here we are, at the point where a 6-game series can hold more weight than an entire season of basketball. Legacies, reputations, the entire merits of a player's game are now decided strictly off of the playoffs. Tracy McGrady was a fantastic player, and to this day, he is rightfully remembered as such. Tracy McGrady never made it out of the first round. These days, if you win an MVP, but you don't back it up as the best player throughout the entire playoffs, you are instantly a fraud. Steve Nash won back-to-back MVPs and never made it to the finals. Dominique Wilkins is a legend, a staple of 80s basketball. He also never made it to the conference finals once in his entire career. Meanwhile, I just watched Jalen Duren wash away fan support, 70 games of awesome basketball, and a max contract in just 3 weeks of bad playoff basketball. I just watched arguably the most impactful regular season of all time get dismissed because of one bad round in the playoffs. I heard someone say Joel Embiid, former league MVP, 4th highest scoring average in NBA history, one of the most talented bigs of all time, is not a Hall of Famer because of his lack of playoff success. Do I think this new standard being imposed on players today is unfair? Yeah, I really do. Not everyone's gonna win a championship. But do I also think the players and teams have done this to themselves? Yeah. The symptom of teams coasting their way through the regular season without any real sense of urgency is that we as fans now know the real test of a player's game, actually the only true test of their game and their abilities, is in the playoffs, which inherently makes the regular season and everything that happens in it a lot less important, and everything that happens in the postseason, even if it's a 4-game sample size, the only thing that matters. And although I really wish this wasn't the current state of the league and its discourse, I agree with this take. But let me know what you think. Share your hot takes in the comments below. And as always, the hotter, the better.
Shout out Jxmyhighroller, man. Another one. Too short though, Jimmy. Too short. We need these videos got to be at least. So this is 15 minutes. We need at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes, but you know, you don't miss. Overall, great video. That Shea take was pretty bad. The Shea was better than Steph take. That take was pretty bad. The Wemby is a top 10 player of all time take. Sorry, no, we can't. We're not gonna do that to Wemby right now. That was a bad take. What was the other bad takes? Yeah. Wait. Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I pretty much agree with everybody else, but hey, shout out Jimmy, man. Sharp Reacts gang. Sharp gang. I hope y'all stay healthy, happy, hydrated, positive, motivated. Keep God in life. Good head on your shoulders. Striving for greatness. No days off, man. Appreciate all the support. Like and sub. Jimmy, we need more. The NBA season is almost over. I need more. We need more content. We need more content, man. Anyways, Sharp Gang, we out.